Good afternoon, good people. Or perhaps it's good morning, good people, depending on where in the world your home is. I come to you from across the deep blue, from Australia. I'm in Yagara and Turrbal country in Meanjin, now known as Brisbane in southeast Queensland, Australia. You might like to think of the traditional name of the country you're currently on and acknowledge their elders, past and present, and those of the future. I feel deeply grateful to live on a land so rich in beauty, so rich in story, and so rich in possibilities. Australia is a land of abundance, but beneath the surface, another story is being told. A story of inequality, of injustice, of people still waiting outside the gates. The readings from today, the 26th Sunday in Ordinary Time, remind us that justice is not automatic and compassion is not passive. In the book of Amos, we hear the prophet call out to those who live in comfort, who feast lavishly at the table, who are unbothered by the suffering of others, and he warns them, your good times will end. And then in the psalm, we hear a benevolent creator, a God of justice, one who lifts up the oppressed, who feeds the hungry, and who stands with those on the margins. And in the gospel, we meet two people, one rich and well-fed, the other poor, sore-covered, unseen. As an artist and an educator, I love images. Take this cartoon by the late Australian artist, Michael Leunig. Here, the rich person sits high above, feasting sumptuously. And below are what we can assume are the Lazaruses of the world. They lay at the gate, longing for scraps. And the rich man, he never even looked. He didn't even see Lazarus at his gate. Jesus isn't telling us the story to point fingers. He's showing us a mirror. Because the truth is, we've all been both of these people. There are times when we have feasted and times that we have longed to be seen. Think about it. When have you been Lazarus? And when have you been the rich one? So what do we do with this parable? What do we learn? Let's consider 3 lessons. Lesson 1. You cannot feast without it affecting others. Every action has its consequence, and we are connected to one another and to the earth. Now, the late Pope Francis says, the cry of the poor and the cry of the earth are one. And we hear this time and time again in his encyclical Laudato Si. We are called to respond to both. So that's lesson 1. We cannot feast without it affecting others. Lesson 2. We are called to be ministers, not masters, to serve, not to dominate, because we are all made in the image of God, and no person is greater than another. All have equal value, and that means we share responsibility for each other and for the world that we live in. So let's be ministers, not masters. Lesson 3. We must move beyond individualism. The gospel does not call us to protect our own table. No, we must build a longer one where everyone is welcome. So, move beyond individualism. So who's waiting at your gate? Who's longing for you to notice them? in your family, in your community, in the world at large? Who or what don't you see? Now, when I read this passage, this gospel, with my Franciscan heart, I hear a really familiar echo. The voice from the San Damiano crucifix saying, rebuild my church. And not just the church building, but the church of our heart, the church of our neighborhoods and the church of our planet. We are called to rebuild it with justice, with mercy, with love. Now, we all know that there is great suffering in our world. War, displacement, mental health crises, isolation, economic fear, grief. And yes, we will all be Lazarus at some point in our lives, hoping for healing and access to resources that are beyond us. And we also will be the rich one too, where we have the resources necessary. Here's the invitation. This gospel invites us to act now, in this lifetime, to open our tables, to open our eyes and to open our hearts, because in the heart of God, in the heart of the Creator, there is a room for everyone. And that, my friends, is a message the world needs to hear. So I pray, may we be people of compassion, people of encounter, people of justice. May we have the courage to notice, the humility to serve, and the love to share what we've been given, because our choices shape eternity. And God's kingdom, where we are family, there is room at the table for all.